Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. As I speak with you, there is a bill at the Senate, which is a bill for an act to establish the National Animal Husbandry and Ranches Commission. It was part of the effort to address the menace of open grazing in Nigeria, which has caused thousands of lives and destruction and displacement of several communities across Nigeria, particularly in northern Nigeria. Now, in this video, we're going to look at the reason why northern senators should be at the forefront in support of this bill and not in opposition to it. Because you can see that northern senators aligned with Miyetti to oppose this bill. But this is a bill that by the time I finish giving you the reasons why not should support it, you will now agree with me that northern senators ought not to be against this bill. They ought to be in the forefront of the support for this bill. Now, before I go further on this, if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours. Now, recently, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, had stated that over 60,000 Nigerians have been killed as a result of the incessant clashes between herders and farmers. And he had lamented that farmers and herders clashes, which were hitherto seen as a regional or a confined conflict, have taken a new dimension as it has grown into a wider conflict beyond the borders of West Africa, but more pronounced in northern Nigeria. Now, Abba stated this in Tajuddin Abbas stated this in an opening address at the stakeholders interactive session held by the House of Representatives ad hoc committee on the recurring clashes between farmers and herders in Yamautu, a Dabi local government area of Gombe State, and neighboring local government areas, including other regions of the country with similar incidents. Now, this is an ad hoc committee that was set up of the House of Representatives to address a particular issue that happened in Gombe State between farmers and herders. And then they now want to use that opportunity to look at all the incidents of herders-farmers clashes across the country. Now, you can see from this report that herders-farmers conflict is a major problem in Gombe State. In Gombe State, Northeast Nigeria. But when this bill was being debated, the bill to create a commission on the bill to create a commission to address the issue of farmers herders clashes and animal husbandry, Danjuma Goje, who is from Gombe, is among those opposing this bill. you would have thought that Danjuma Goje, knowing fully well what people in his state are suffering as a result of this, that he should be in the forefront of support for the restriction of movement of cattle across Nigeria, that it be confined to ranches in the state of origin of the owners. But Danjuma Goje was in the Senate floor opposing the bill, because it means that what he was doing was against the interests of the people of his own state. Because if the interests of his own state this is the relationship between herders and farmers are in order, the crisis generated in Gombe State will not have made the House of Representatives to form an ad hoc committee on how to address this matter. But here is Danjuma Goje defending a cause that he shouldn't be defending. And what is the cause? Open grazing. That cattle and humans should be able to be sharing the roots and everything. So if he had known or is aware that his people are suffering, he ought not to be opposed this bill. Now, note also that out of the 60,000 Nigerians that have been killed since 2001 as a result of farmers-herders clashes, most of them are northerners. Northerners have borne the largest brunt of the clashes between herders and farmers. And you and I know that agriculture is the mainstay of the economy of northern Nigeria. And these farmers-herders clashes in northern Nigeria has impacted food security both in northern Nigeria and nationwide. Now, let us also refer back to the ad hoc committee that was set up to look at the crisis in Gombe, which they now combine with other crises across the country caused by herders and farmers clashes. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribado, was represented by Professor Abdullahi Mohammed Yao, who lamented, that speaking on behalf of Ribado, lamented that the farmers-herders conflicts have taken more lives than most of the crises seen in the country. So you can see the farmers-herders clashes, according to the Office of the National Security Advisor, have taken more lives than any other conflict in Nigeria. It has taken more lives than even the insurgency in Northeast. That's what the Office of the National Security Advisor is saying here. And those lives are mostly northern lives. I agree, right now, it's nationwide. From time to time, you hear about killings in Enugu State, in Osun State, but most of the lives that are being wasted as a result of farmers-herders clashes are from the north. And if the northern senators value the life of their constituents or the lives of residents of their senatorial district, they ought to support anything that will stop the roaming about of cattle with their owners or with the herders across the country. Now, this means that more lives have been lost as a result of farmers-herders clashes in Nigeria than that of terrorism, coming from terrorism in the Northeast. But again, that is a fluid area, because don't forget that in 2014, the herders in Nigeria were ranked as the fourth deadliest terrorist group in the world by the Global Terrorism Index. The militia herders, they were ranked as the fourth deadliest terrorist group in the world by the Global Terrorism Index. Now, as far as Global Terrorism Index is concerned, these headers militia, they are terrorist organization. That's why they rank them among the fourth largest, fourth most dangerous or deadliest terrorist organization in the world. Now, when you have such a group operating in a country and in your region and in your senatorial district, as a northern senator, you ought to support it and not oppose it. Ought to support it and not oppose it. And from what we have seen, if you are following media report, no part of the north is immune from the devastation caused by farmers' headers clashes. From the northwest, north central, which is the epicenter, that's north central, talking about Nasarawa, Benue, Plateau, Taraba, all these axes that constitute north, including Niger, they are not immune. Right now, as I talk to you, Niger State, that we are hitherto trying to manage the situation, is the governor is talking about banning open grazing. They are talking about, they are moving a law against open grazing. You can see that the tolerance of this open grazing had gotten to the neck of Niger State, that their governor is now thinking in that light. So that's how desperate the situation is. And I expect that northern senators ought to be clapping for the sponsor of that bill and not trying to kill it. Now, the farmer header clashes, as I said earlier, it has spread all over the north. No part of the north is exempted, including Sokoto, which is like the religious center of northern Nigeria, where the Sultan reside. Sokoto is not immune from this crisis. Talk about Castina. What you hear about as bandits, to the level that bandits are controlling about 11 local governments in Castina State. Those bandits are basically are believed to be the offshoots of headers who are terrorizing farmers from having access to their farms. Many of them have been dislodged from their farmlands. Many of them have been told that they cannot farm this season. Many of them are being taxed. And those who are being taxed are people being represented in the National Assembly. Many have been chased away from their farms. It was because of how the thing had gotten out of hand that the current governor of Castina State had to set up a kind of vigilante group and train them so that they'll be able to manage the insecurity in Castina State. And Castina State is the state of former President Muhammadu Buhari. Under his administration, the farmers and headers crisis escalated to the level never seen before in Nigeria's history. And he couldn't handle it. He couldn't even handle it in his home state, in Castina. So you can see that farmers header clashes is not a challenge that is trying to, maybe because it is southern people that are pushing it. No. It is an issue that is of a national consensus that it needs to be solved. Look at a state like Benue. They have over 2 million IDPs, internally displaced persons. The Benue State is not at war. Benue State is not at war. There is no civil war in Benue State. But because of farmers' clashes and killings, Benue State alone has about 2 million IDPs, internally displaced persons. Even the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, has IDPs. Niger State has IDPs who have been chased away from their local governments in Shiroro and elsewhere. So it is therefore in the interest of northern senators to support the bill to restrict the movement of herders with their cattle. Because if you don't, the problem will continue to spread across the country. And already it has spread to southern Nigeria, but not up to the scale of the north. But it's only a matter of time. It is only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Communities will begin to be sacked in southern Nigeria. Already there are many states, in Abia, in Enugu State, in Edo State, in Delta State, where farmers cannot enter certain parts of their ancestral land in the bush. Farmers are now being forced to be farming only closer to the towns and cities, which ought not to be so. Farmers should be able to have access to their ancestral land. And knowing the fact that what we have practiced in Nigeria is small-scale farming, smallholder farmers, okay, who practices what is called shifting cultivation. They farm one place this year, they leave it so that it could be able to, the land will regain its nutrient, and then they move to another place to go and farm. Maybe after 5 years, 6 years, they come back when the soil has regained its nutrient, and they farm it. That's what they do. Now they can't even practice that. And this is a nationwide problem. So there is a need for northern senators and lawmakers to support this bill. They ought to be among those supporting it, because it is a nationwide problem, and it's a problem that have had its toll against northern Nigerians. That's a fact. We cannot deny this basic fact. The lawmakers know it, and they ought to know it. Now, this problem has led to many young northern youths, many of them farmers that used to farm rice, millet, and what have you. They have been literally chased out of their communities by these herders masquerading as bandits. They can't go to their farm. That's why you see many of them, most of those doing the usual what they call Okada business, riding Okada or commercial motorcycle, go to the south. Most of them have now moved to the south. These are people that ought to be in the north, in their ancestral land, farming millet, farming corn, farming rice, farming beans, farming tomatoes, and what have you. And now we are asking, how is it that everything is expensive in Nigeria? The food inflation rate is over 50% in Nigeria right now. It is because those young men who ought to be in the farms are in the south doing Okada business. And that has also brought its own social, cultural shock that is also creating a crisis on its own. That's not what I'm addressing here. But just for the northern senators to understand why they ought to be at the forefront in supporting this bill and not opposing it in any way, so that we can have a permanent solution to farmers' herders clashes and all this sacking of communities, killing and sacking of communities in northern Nigeria and in any other place in Nigeria will come to a stop permanently. That's my take on this issue. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.